Alright, in this video we're going to take those list indexes that we learned about and learn how to use them with a for loop. Alright, so I've taken the liberty here of setting up two lists, one of spoons and one of forks. Each list has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items in it. Wait a minute, I have two fondue forks here. Change one of those to a table fork. Alright. Okay, so spoons and forks, and so what we can do is actually go in our for loop. So as you recall, for loops for I in range. Well, what's the range? Well, let's say 6 for now because I just counted them and there are 6 things there, right? And so I can actually go print. Now, as we recall, this I is a loop counter. And you'll recall, well, let's just, in case you don't recall, let's just print I and see what it does. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it probably started at 0 too, right? Yeah. So that I is actually a number, an integer, that is changing each time we do a loop. Well, funny thing is, when do we need an integer? Well, it's exactly when we're printing out our list index. So remember, we wanted to print, say for example, spoon 0, and so we can print spoon 0 like that, but it'll print teaspoon every time. So I don't want a 0 every time. In fact, I want to print spoon 0, and then I want to print spoon 1, spoon 2, spoon 3, spoon 4, and spoon 5. Well, guess what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just perfect. So I can actually put this I right in here, just like that. And we'll see what it prints out. Okay, so let's take a look here. It has printed. Okay, so teaspoon, so that's my spoon 0. Tablespoon, that's my spoon 1. Soup spoon is my spoon 2. Dessert spoon is spoon 3. Wooden spoon is my spoon 4. And ladle is my spoon 5. So that worked exactly as I expected it to. Now, do we have to print things like this? We don't have to, because of course we can also just go print spoons. This is outside of my for loop. And if I just print spoons, it will also print, right? But it will print in this format. This is like the list format. But if I wanted to just print it as like a regular thing like this, I need to do it in the for loop like that. Let's just do that. So we can see here's the difference, right? If I wanted to look like that, very easy, just print spoons. But if I wanted to look like that, okay, that's where I have to do this for loop idea. So that's very useful. And, you know, this I is just literally 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could actually do it with any list because we have the forks as well. Print forks, and I could also go with the I because again, fork 0, fork 1, fork 2, fork 3, fork 4, fork 5. Okay. Yeah, and so if we do that and run that, we'll get, take a look, teaspoon, teaspoon, salad fork, salad fork, tablespoon, tablespoon, dessert fork, dessert fork. So it's printing them each thing one by one. Okay, so that's really useful. One more thing that I want to do is, okay, what if I start like adding different things? Okay, so what if I added something to this list? What other kinds of spoon are there? I don't even know. Say a tiny spoon, and let's say a tiny fork. So I added something to the list here, but I still have range 6. So if I run this, it's gonna not print out where's tiny spoon and tiny fork. It didn't print it out because I didn't change this. I have to change this now to 7, right? And so if I change it to 7, yes, it will print out. But that's kind of a hassle, and I don't want to have to do that every single time. And you know, sometimes I might actually forget. So basically, we want this number inside the range to be basically as long as this list is. We want this number to be the exact same number as however many things are in that list, because that's how many times we want it to cycle through. Turns out we know how to do that, and it's with this len of spoons, right? So that, if you recall from I can't remember last lesson or a couple lessons ago, that will actually tell us how many, like it will give us a number of how long that list is. Okay, and no matter how the list gets longer or shorter, it will always have the correct number. So we could actually take that and drop it inside these brackets. Okay, so I just took this len spoons and put it inside the bracket of the range. Okay, and let's just try that. It did go tiny spoon, tiny fork. Let's add another one. Medium spoon. And we go medium fork. And let's run that. And take a look. Medium spoon, medium fork. So no matter what I add there, it's always going to update constantly, because it takes it kind of, you know, at the time that it's running. Right? Large spoon, whoops, large spoon should be fork. Okay, so that is it for this lesson. These are techniques that we'll be using all the time. So hopefully you made a note of how that works. And yeah, that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one.